Welcome to Theater of the Mind Entertainment, a Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG playthrough radio drama, featuring our victims John, Matt, and Don, and I'm your tomes keeper, Cody.
Theodore, you find yourself staring at your father in the middle of this rainstorm. There's thunder and lightning is just cracking across the sky, and rain is pelting you in the face, and you are staring at your father steering this fishing boat that you are now on the deck of. John and Oliver, you're standing in the lighthouse in complete darkness above this hatch, and Theodore just disappeared into the darkness.
Johnny just disappeared.
Gone.
Dad!
You yell out and you don't hear anything.
Do you think we should see if he's okay?
I guess we could. I shine my light around the room.
You just see old cracked stone and a lighthouse.
I'll Rochambeau you for it. Winner gets to stay up here.
Let's just get this over with.
You guys peer down into this hatch, into total darkness, and you're looking down, the both of you, and you begin to feel cold, and you hear this wind just whistling around you, and you begin to feel damp, and you feel these raindrops, but you know you're inside, and you feel the rain as it begins to pelt you in the face, and this wind begins chilling you to the bone. And you hear these waves crashing loudly and echoing around the room. And you look up and you see lightning arcing across the sky, and this massive storm is brewing, and you are standing outside in the middle of the ocean, rocking on this ship. And you peer about 50 feet ahead of you, and you see Theodore staring at this man sailing on the ship.
There's an ocean in the lighthouse, John. It's storming in the lighthouse.
I was not expecting this.
Oliver and John, roll sanity.
94, fail.
36, pass.
John, as you are standing there staring at Theodore, you think you see this massive cloud open up above you, and you see these huge red eyes as they're just staring down at you, and you think it's the beast that you saw in Ben's apartment.
No! Why are you here? What do you want? Why are you looking at me like that?
Theodore, you hear John. You hear his voice just echo behind you.
I spin around. John, what are you... How are you here?
The eyes are hurting me.
What are you talking about? What eyes?
There!
Nothing's there. Nothing's looking at you.
Oh, it's there.
Roll a persuasion, Oliver.
A 37 over 60 success.
John, as you hear Oliver trying to calm you down, you do feel a sense of relief, and then you peer back up, and you see these eyes, and this jowl just opens up, and these massive teeth are now cutting through the clouds and getting bigger and bigger, almost the size of what appears to be the sun as it just comes down towards you onto the deck of the ship.
Oh, you want me, don't you? I'll get you first! And I draw out my gun and shoot at them.
You begin just firing your gun.
Oh, God.
And just shooting, and these bullets are whizzing into the night as this rain is pelting down around you guys.
Come and get me, you son of a bitch! Get me then!
Everybody Give me a dexterity check.
A 31 hard success.
A 37 success.
27, hard success.
All of a sudden, John, as you're just firing your weapon into the sky and yelling, you feel this massive wave crash against the ship, and it throws all of you off balance. And luckily, you're all able to grab a hold of the first things you see as you get slammed against the railing of this ship, and you almost all get thrown overboard.
Oh, guys.
What is going on?
I don't know, Oliver, but this is my dad. We have to help him.
How did he get here?
John, you see this thing now descending down onto the deck of the ship. These massive claws begin digging into the deck as it is just lumbering and marching towards you with these piercing red eyes that just look straight through your soul.
Oh, come to play, have you? Oh, I'm ready.
Ted, we gotta do something about him. He's losing his mind.
Can't you guys see it?
I don't see anything. All I know is
Lies! Goddamn lies!
John, I can't see anything in this storm. Calm down.
this boat is gonna capsize. We need to do something.
John, this thing immediately leaps into the air and dives on top of you, and you feel this force push you back against the railing. Give me a dexterity check.
64, fail.
John, you feel the weight of this thing slam into you, and you lose your balance, and you topple over the railing of the ship, and you fall into the ocean. Ted and Oliver, you see John just literally, he's yelling, and he throws himself over the boat.
John!
Holy shit!
John, give me a swim check.
66, fail.
John, as soon as you hit the water, it's freezing, and it feels like these needles are just piercing your body, and the cold just takes all of the air out of your lungs, and you get submerged in this water. You come back up to the top, and you look up, and you see this massive wave just smack you in the face with such force that it actually knocks you unconscious. Oliver and Theodore, you're staring down, and you see John just get hit with this massive wave, and he does not appear to be moving.
I immediately look around for a rope or a life preserver or anything that I could grab.
Give me a spot check.
I'm also going to look. 16 hard success.
74 fail.
Oliver, you see Theodore turn around, and he just yells out, "Is there anything we can find?" And he begins running towards his father to look for anything that you can throw out to John. And Oliver, you see off in the corner this rope that is almost falling off the back of the ship.
I start running for it.
You run for it, and you grab it just before it slips off the edge.
Whew, that was a close one. I turn around and run back over to the side of the ship and throw this rope towards John.
Give me a dexterity check to see if you can get it to land next to John.
15 hard success.
You literally throw this rope, and because it was such an awesome success, you throw it, and somehow, you don't know how, this rope falls over John's chest, and magically, John grabs the rope in his unconscious mind.
Wow. I can't believe that actually worked. I start pulling it in.
Give me a strength check.
Do I see him do this?
Theodore, when you run up towards your father and you see that there's nothing you can find to help John, you turn around and you see Oliver pulling rope.
I run over and try to help him with that.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. Oliver, you will have advantage on this.
I rolled a 22 hard success.
39 success.
You guys are easily able to just pull this rope. John, give me a constitution to see if you wake up.
52, fail.
John, you don't feel as they're pulling your body over towards the boat. And when you guys get John's body to the boat, you begin trying to actually pull him up. And you do manage to pull him, and you notice his arm raising because he's clutching this rope. But as you pull him up, He slips off the rope, unconscious, back into the water.
Oh, God damn it.
Oliver, tie the rope around the mast.
I go and I do that.
I grab the other end of the rope. About how long is this rope?
It's probably about 70 to 80 feet.
I grab the other end of it, and I quickly try to tie it around my waist the best way that I know how.
Are you going to jump in?
Hold that rope, Oliver, and I dive overboard.
Theodore, you dive into the ocean. As soon as you hit the water, your breath is taken away by the icy, frigid cold, and these needles just pierce your skin. Give me a swim check.
100. Fail.
You jump into the water, and as you're falling with this rope around your waist, you smash into John, smacking your head against his, and you feel this piercing blow resonate through your head, and this darkness begins to cloud your eyes, and you feel numb.
Oh, come on.
Does the blow wake me up?
No.
I try to shake off the blow as best as I can, and I know I smacked into John, and I just try to grasp at him at whatever piece of clothing or anything that I can in my flurry of agony.
You manage to grab at John, but every time you do, you just pull him under, and then he pulls you under, and you just cannot withstand the weight of John as you try to tread water and keep both of you above.
Oliver, pull me in.
Oliver, give me a strength check.
63, fail.
Oliver, you try to pull in Ted, but Ted, you're holding on to John, and it's just too much weight for you to handle.
You're too heavy. I look to the side at this man who Ted claims is his father. Excuse me, can you give me a hand, sir?
It doesn't seem like he hears you.
Sir, I could use some help saving your son's life.
He doesn't even flinch.
Sir?
Just then, this massive wave and this crack of thunder and this lightning just spreads through the sky and illuminates the sky. This massive wave picks the boat up, and you feel yourself become weightless for a second. Theodore, you see this ship begin to tip as you look up, and this thing crashes down and everything goes dark. Oliver, you're on this ship. Give me a strength check to hold on.
9, extreme success.
You're holding on to the railing of this ship like the Titanic as it's just going under, and you smash into the water, still holding on to the ship, and your breath is taken away. You go under for a minute and everything is dark. Give me a swim check.
85, fail.
You feel your lungs just compress as the air just leaves them when you hit the water. And you're trying to swim up, and you manage to lift your head up just for a second, and you see land off in the distance, probably about a half a mile away, as the lightning streaks and illuminates it. Ted, you manage, as the ship is falling down on top of you, you manage to submerge yourself and John, and you just escape before this thing crushes you. And when you come back up, you see the bottom of the ship beginning to sink as the suction starts to pull you down. And in between breaths, as you're going under and coming back up, you see the land off in the distance. Everybody give me swim checks. Theodore, you're at a disadvantage because you're trying to save John.
19. Pass.
Theodore, you manage to pull John up, and you stabilize yourself and him as you're floating on your back and the rain is just pelting you in the face. And you manage to see this land, and you begin paddling and swimming towards it with John.
I look around. Do I see Oliver?
You do not see Oliver.
What about my father?
You do not see your father.
Oliver! Dad!
Oliver, give me a listen.
64, fail.
The storm is just so loud and the wind is whistling past your ears. You do not hear Theodore as he's yelling out for you and his father. Oliver, you are petrified of open water. Roll sanity at disadvantage.
68 fail.
Oliver, the ship has gone down and is no longer visible to you. The land that you thought you saw, you look, and it's no longer there. You are in the middle of the ocean, and the only light is when the lightning cracks and streaks through the sky. This is your worst nightmare. You feel as if at any moment something is going to grab you and rip you under the water.
Fuck. Ted, John. Where are you guys? Oh, God. Ted, John.
The waves just begin crashing into you, and you feel yourself getting submerged and coming up and getting submerged until you breathe in and you just taste salt water, and everything begins to get dark and you pass out. Theodore, give me a spot check.
26 hard success.
Theodore, you see Oliver gasping for air, and he just goes under.
How far away from him am I?
He's probably about 25 feet.
I look at him and I look at the island. I start swimming towards him.
You swim towards him, and you manage to grab under the water as he's falling under and down, and you grab his shoulder, and you rip him up by his shirt. Oliver, you reach the surface, and you let out this choke and this gasp of air, and you look and you see Theodore.
Ted?
I just need you to swim, buddy. Come on.
Oh God! I can't move, Ted.
You can move. You can do it, Oliver.
I can't swim. I can't do anything. I can't do anything in open water.
Just close your eyes and just move.
I'll try.
Oliver, you begin with all your might. You begin kicking your legs, and they're numb, and you are petrified. Theodore, you see Oliver trying, and you're trying to help him along, and you just begin swimming towards this island. You're all exhausted. You don't know how long you've been swimming. John, give me a constitution check.
61 fail.
Theodore, you're still pulling John as he's just unconscious lying there, bleeding from his head. And your arms and your legs are just burning, and you're exhausted. Finally, you three reach this beach, and you fall onto the beach and you just collapse in exhaustion.
Oh, fuck. And I lay there just halfway in the waves.
How did we get here?
John! Do I hear anything from him?
You see him breathing, but he's not awake.
I take every last bit of my energy and roll over to him and just start kind of moving his head around, and I check his eyes and I try to slap him in the face a couple times, try to wake him up.
You're looking at his eyes and then you slap him. And immediately, John, you feel this pressure against your face and this stinging against the numbness and cold on your cheek. And you open your eyes and you see Theodore.
Oh, holy shit.
Is he up?
Just breathe, John. Just breathe.
I reach out and grab him by the shirt collar. My eyes are glaring. Where are we?
It's all right, John. We're safe.
John, you look up and you see this creature descending from the storm above you.
Ted, look out! I start backpedaling.
I try to hold him down on the sand and not let him get away.
Give me a strength check, Theodore. John, give me an opposing strength roll.
14 hard success.
91 fail.
John, you see this thing getting closer to you, very similar to when you were on the boat, and you get up. And Theodore, you're so exhausted from swimming that John just shoves you off of him. And John, you begin backpedaling as this thing reaches the ground, and it stands at least 9 feet tall. This menacing looking beast with these long claws, and it begins to lumber towards you with its piercing red eyes and its massive jowls snarling at you.
As I'm backpedaling away from it, I try to get up to my feet and look around for any kind of weapons or anything I can use to fend this thing off.
You are on this massive beach that stretches for as far as your eyes can see. And when you turn around, there's nothing but trees and just thick flora.
You took Ben! You're here to take me, too!
What
Done
took
with
Ben?
this!
John, what took Ben?
Ah!
What is he running at?
Ah! Die!
John, stop!
You see John just taking off down the beach. John, as you're getting closer to this thing, it seems like it's getting further away, and you can never close that distance as you're running full-blown down this beach.
Face me! Face me now!
You hear it snarl, and its breath feels like it's on the back of your neck.
What do you want from us? What is this?
You guys just see John yelling into this storm. John, when you're yelling at this thing, it's staring at you with these eyes, and it begins to dissipate,
Speak, demon!
and it disappears into the wind like this black fog.
I collapsed to the ground.
How far away is John from us now?
About 50 yards.
I run and try to catch up to him and put my hand on his shoulder.
I do the same. I run up to him.
Are you all right? What was that?
John, what's gone into you?
God, what have we gotten into?
As he's saying that, I rip off part of my jacket and I start wiping the blood off of his head. John, man, I'm sorry. I fell overboard on the ship and I dove in to get you, but,
No. Thank you. You saved me.
well, I mean, we saved you.
Oliver, you there?
I'm right here. I get down on eye level with him.
It was the creature. It was the creature from the apartment, from the street. The thing that comes from the storm cloud.
What?
It was there. That's what happened on the boat. That's what I was chasing on the beach.
The same thing that was chasing us in the streets?
Yes. You didn't see it. Neither one of you saw it.
Neither of us saw it. You were just freaking out, and then you jumped overboard.
John, I think you're just having visions, man. Just write it off.
Write it off.
Look around us.
I know. We were also at a lighthouse that doesn't exist anymore. Your father, where's the boat?
When he says that, I peer back towards the ocean.
You see nothing but absolute darkness as you peer off into the waves.
Oh, Ted, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ted.
As he says that, I feel around my shoulder and grab the strap in my bag. It's still attached. I tear it open and try to look through it.
You look through it, and you see your radios and all of your belongings that you had, but they are completely soaked, and you don't know if your radios still work.
Are you sure that was your father?
I don't know, Oliver. That was my father. I know it was my father. But I don't know. It just all happened so fast. I didn't even get to say anything, and now we're here. I pull out the radio, and I just mess with it.
Didn't seem very inclined to help you when you jumped overboard.
What do you mean?
When I was trying to pull you back up, he just stood there and stared at me. I called out to him, and he didn't respond at all.
Maybe he couldn't hear you. I mean, you saw the storm.
I don't know, man. Does that radio still work?
I kind of tune him out, and I just start trying to play with the knobs on the radio and shake the water out of it.
You begin shaking the water out, and a lot of water begins to pour through the speakers of your radio. And you're playing with the knobs, and you just hear clicking sounds. Nothing turns on.
Shit! And I throw it into the sand.
Where the hell are we? Does anything seem out of the ordinary with this forested area? Does it seem like the in-between world that we are whenever the totem is active?
It doesn't seem like the in-between world, but as you guys are talking, you notice this stench of like dead fish fills the air. And you begin looking around now that you've calmed yourselves down, and you see on the beach there are just fish littering the beach, and they are rotting and decaying. And you look a little closer, and you see these other creatures that you're assuming are from the sea, and they are just rotting and decaying. The stench is so overwhelming. Everybody give me a constitution check.
61 fail.
13, hard success.
93 fail.
As this stench just overwhelms you, Theodore and John, you begin to get viciously sick and nauseous, and you begin throwing up.
Oh, God.
I try to throw my stuff back in my bag and just stumble off of the beach more towards the forest.
Oh, we need to get out of here.
Man, guys, I mean, it's a bad stench, but it's not that bad.
I can't.
What are these things next to the fish? I don't recognize those.
I'm in no shape for this.
Can I check one of them out?
Of course you can.
So I walk over to one of these strange-looking carcasses, and I inspect it.
You look at it, and it appears to be an octopus, but it has these legs, and it's about the size of a large dog. And it appears to have gills, but you're not sure. You've never seen anything like it, but you're not sure. Maybe it's just something that does live in the ocean, because this isn't really your area, and it's just rotting. And you reach down and you kind of touch it, and its body is extremely slimy. And as you run your hand across it, its skin begins to peel off of its body, and your hand sinks into it, and you just feel these rotting guts. And you pull your hand up, and it's covered in these maggots.
Ugh. Well, I have no clue what this is. I turn around and look at those two. How far away are they?
They're beginning to head towards the forest. They're probably 25 to 30 yards away from you.
I wipe my hand off of the maggots and guts, and I just shake my head, and I turn around and I follow them up the beach.
You follow and catch up to them, and as you're wiping your hand off, you feel the maggots just squishing in between your fingers. You guys make it to this forest line. The stench dissipates a little bit, but not much. And the storm continues just to pelt you, and it picks up and gets more violent, and you do find some comfort and shelter just a few yards into the forest.
I reach into my jacket pocket and pull my camera out and see if it still works.
You pull your camera up, and you're looking through the lens, and it just appears to be fogged out and just completely dirty and waterlogged. You go to snap the picture. Give me a photography roll. If you roll an extreme success, your picture will turn out.
I succeeded with an 81.
You push the button, and you feel the button just squish down into the camera as water just rolls out from inside the machine.
Well, never mind, I guess. I just give it a couple shakes to get the excess water off and just shove it back in my jacket pocket.
Oh, shit. Oh, you smell that too, John?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
I fish around in my back pocket. I had a handkerchief in there. Is it still there?
Yes.
Pull it out, and I kind of wring the water out of it. I wrap it around my mouth, my head. Oh, God. Oh, that's a little better. I lean against the tree and just collapse against it.
So now what?
I don't know, John. I look around. It's starting to get dark.
You look around, and even the moon isn't shining through the thick storm clouds. It is pitch black where you're at. You can see probably 15 feet in front of you as the wind just howls.
Oh, I know one thing, though. I'm really tired of getting strung along with whatever's going on here. It's all we have is questions and no goddamn answers. Little girls and demons and I don't even know. We need to get this shit settled. Anybody have any idea where we're at?
While he's saying that, I reach into my jacket and fish around for a Zippo that I had in there.
You find it.
Pull it out and start flicking it.
It does not light.
I keep flicking it.
Give me a luck roll.
83 fail.
Your Zippo does not spark.
I just keep hitting it more and harder every single time, just hoping for something. And I give up. I drop it. I just sit against the tree.
Well, we have to do something, guys.
Well, my flashlight's at the bottom of the ocean, so...
Guys, I can't do this anymore.
Ted, there's no turning back now. Whatever this is, we're marked. It knows us. We're involved.
Well then, fuck it all, John. I'm done. I'm done with this shit.
Done with this shit?
What are we gonna do, John? We're on an island in the middle of God knows where. We're good as dead.
Ted, I was as good as dead the day I picked up the phone and Bernard was the other end of the line. I just didn't know it yet. Now, come on. We're here together. We need to see it through.
John, roll me a persuasion.
49, success?
Fine. And I get up and stand there. What are we gonna do, guys?
Well, if we're stranded here, we should probably either find shelter or food, or both.
I'd like to search the area. I'm looking for anything that would benefit us in this situation. 14, extreme success.
John, you managed to find some trees that were blown over and broken apart, and you feel like you might be able to make some sort of shelter to at least get yourselves out of the storm.
Come on, guys, this way. And I move towards the downed trees.
I pull out my flashlight and give it a couple clicks, see if it works.
Give me a luck roll.
I rolled a 2.
You give this flashlight a couple shakes, and you click it, and it illuminates the area around you. It is still working.
Nice, Oliver.
All right, so we've got a little bit of light in this darkness.
All right, guys, follow me. I got an idea here.
Lead the way.
You guys begin building this shelter with John at the lead, and it takes you probably about a good hour, but you do manage to build something large enough for the three of you to get out of the storm.
Come on, guys, let's try to get settled in a little bit.
Yeah, that's a start at least.
Take any relief I can get right now.
You guys try to doze off, and the entire night is filled with thunder and cracking of lightning, and the wind is just relentless. You manage to get a little bit of sleep, and you all open your eyes, and you see this light, and the sun is just beaming down on the beach through the trees.
Oh, finally. The damn storm passed.
Does it seem to be early morning or maybe later?
It seems to be pretty early morning, like first light.
I get up. How far away do you think we walked in the forest from the beach?
About 10 yards.
I look through the trees above me and kind of start walking towards the beach, trying to find anywhere, a clearing that I can kind of see the sky a little more openly.
You walk onto the beach.
I look up and it's pretty early still. Can I still see, now that the storm has passed, any remnants of stars or anything else? The moon before it goes down?
Yeah, you see the moon and a couple stars in the sky.
I try to take an astrology check
Okay.
to see if I can get any bearing on what part of the world we could possibly be located.
Okay.
18, success.
Theodore, from everything you've gathered from looking at the stars and the moon and the way the sun is positioned in the sky, you can tell that you are somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic. Probably somewhere between Massachusetts and Maine.
Thanks, Dad. Needed that. And I walk back into the forest with them.
What's up, Ted?
Well, guys, it's not much, but I can at least tell you we're somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic. That doesn't mean shit right now, but
Okay, so what does all this mean? What do you...
it doesn't mean much, John. I'm going to be honest, but it's the last little bit of hope I have at this moment. I can tell you we're not too far from where we were, at least.
So we could make a paddle boat, and if we go west, we'll end up in the United States, and if we go east, we'll end up in Europe.
Technically, you're correct. But I mean,
Are you sure we're not just on a different part of Deer Island?
we could be. I mean, I didn't learn much from my father, but that's a little bit at least. I don't think we are, though.
It's better than what we had, Ted.
Maybe we should explore the island a little more.
Yeah, I think we should get off this beach. I just don't feel right about it.
And the smell's kind of even making my stomach start to turn.
While we were on the beach, did we notice anywhere where there's a little bit of higher ground or an area that wasn't covered by the canopy?
The storm was so violent and it was so dark, you weren't able to tell last night.
All right, guys, well, I kind of want to get a look around here. So I move back out towards the beach to an open area and try to get a scan. And I'm looking for any kind of like a cliff face, any kind of higher ground that I might be able to get up and kind of see out.
John, you make your way onto the beach, And you walk for quite some time just down the beach looking for any area you can, and you stumble across this mound that you're able to sort of climb onto that gives you a better vantage point. And you look out sort of into the forest, and you notice way off in the distance, miles into the distance, there is this large hill just protruding in the center of this island.
Hey guys, out towards the center of the island. I think that's where we need to head.
You see something out there, John?
Yeah, it's a large hill.
That's good enough for me. I start making my way, kind of jog down towards John's rock.
I follow suit.
Yeah, guys, I think from this hill we might be able to signal somebody, or just get away from this beach and the water. I really don't want to be around it right now.
The higher the ground, the better, I think. It'll give us a better vantage point.
Agreed.
All right, well, let's get going.
You guys begin trekking through the forest towards this hill, and you're walking for probably an hour at this point, and the sun is just beating down even through the trees, and your clothes are now completely dry, and sweat is just running off of you, and you're all just getting so thirsty, and your throats are just dry and scratchy. Theodore, as you're trudging along through this thick flora, you hear your radio turn on.
I stop dead.
What is that? Is that your radio?
I fish it out of my bag and hold it.
You're holding this thing, and you see it trying to tune into something, but it's very faint. Even the static volume is extremely low.
Guys, stop a second.
What is it?
The radio, it's doing something. And I just play around with the knobs and try to clear it up or get it louder. Anything I can do.
As you're playing with the knobs, it doesn't seem like anything you do with the radio is affecting it. Almost as if it's doing whatever it's doing on its own.
I stand there and hold it for minutes. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. It's just static.
Do you think it needs better reception? It's probably not too great down here in the trees.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that is how radios work. Yeah. Let's keep going, guys.
You guys continue to trudge along, and Theodore, you notice the radio kind of turns off, and you continue walking, and another hour goes by as you're walking towards this hill. And Theodore, you hear the radio turn on, but this time it's much louder.
I think you're onto something, Oliver.
We got to get up to the top of that hill.
You guys continue to trudge along, and you come into this clearing. And mind you, as you're trudging through this forest, it is thick. Every step is like work and effort. And you come into this clearing and you peer up, and this massive hill still seems so far away. And right now the sun is straight overhead, just beating down on you.
Oh, God. How is it still that far away? We've been walking for hours.
I look around. When we were walking through the forest before, even though I was preoccupied, did we pass or notice any streams, any water, ditches, anything?
You didn't.
Oh, guys. We're dealing with some real messed up stuff right now, but if I'm going to die of anything, I don't want to be of thirst.
Agreed. Let's try to scout around a little bit.
I kind of stuff the radio back in my bag for now and look around, just start walking around the field and the clearing. Guys, I think let's stay close, but let's fan out a little bit, see if we can find anything.
Okay.
Everybody give me luck.
90, fail.
47, fail.
10, success.
You guys begin trying to find some water. Theodore, 20 minutes goes by, and you notice this small hole, like a ditch, and it appears to be full of rainwater.
Guys, I think I found something. And I run over to it.
Oh, please tell me it's water.
Oh, thank
Get over here.
I run over to Ted.
I kneel down.
This water looks murky and disgusting.
I scoop my hand through it. Water?
It's water.
Is it stagnant?
It appears to be a little stagnant.
I don't know if I'd touch that, Ted. That's like a petri dish.
Theodore, your insides are just burning because you're so thirsty. Theodore, give me a power check.
57, fail.
Theodore, You know this is a horrible idea, but you just cannot stop the urge of needing to drink water and rehydrate.
I bend over and kind of scoop my hands through the water, pull some up, shake the whatever I can mud out of it, and just start flapping it up. Oh God, it's so good.
So this is what we've been reduced to.
Theodore, as this water enters your mouth, it tastes gritty and slimy and thick, but it tastes so good to you. You need more and more and more. John and Oliver, you just see Theodore just doing everything he can to take these massive mouthfuls of this stagnant, stenching water. And you see this mud just rolling off his face as he is just chugging this water.
Oh God. Guys, come on, get something to drink. It's as good as it's gonna get.
Oliver, I don't think we should be drinking that water.
Guys, you're gonna drink it.
Agreed. All right, Ted. All right, buddy. You've had enough. I reach out and I grab his shoulder.
Theodore, you feel Oliver grab your shoulder, and you get violent, almost like a dog trying to eat a treat and someone's trying to take it away from him.
Get off me, Oliver.
And you just begin drinking this water.
Ted, that is going to make you sick. You need to stop.
I'm gonna die if I don't drink it, Oliver.
You're going to die if you do drink it. We could find something else.
I keep partaking.
I wouldn't worry, Oliver. I don't think it's going to be inside much longer.
Before you guys know it, you look down at this hole and it is almost empty. Theodore has drank all of this stagnant stench.
I didn't think the human stomach was that big. I'm not even mad. That's impressive.
Wonder how many tadpoles he swallowed.
Oh, guys, I feel so much better. Oh, did you guys get any?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was delicious.
Let's just go.
All right, gentlemen. I think we should move on, but let's keep an eye out for water as we walk. Be mindful, and let's move out.
You guys continue to walk for hours and hours. Theodore, you feel good, but something in your stomach just feels a little bit twingy, and you continue to walk. Oliver and John, about 4 hours goes by, and you notice there's this stream. As you get closer to this hill, it's almost like a valley. So you come up to this crest, and you look down into this valley, and there is this small river running down between the hills. And then you look up and you are at the base of this hill if you crawl into the valley.
Oh, thank God. Running water.
Yes.
I make for the stream.
You guys barrel down this steep hillside and you make it to the stream, and it is the most clear crystal water you've ever seen. And it's so cold and just delicious.
Oh, God. This is so good. I scoop some up and splash it in my face and drink as much as I can.
You feel so refreshed and hydrated.
I also drink from the stream. Ted, look! Water!
I'm good, guys. That wasn't that bad.
Theodore, when you get down to this river, this creek, you kind of wash your hands off, and just as your hands reach into the water, it begins to turn red. And you feel really warm, but you're cold, and you begin to just shiver. And you hear your radio turn on, and the static just gets so loud and fills your ears and just begins to hurt your head. And you look at this water, and it looks thick and red like blood.
As I'm kneeled over, staring at the water flow through my hands, I just keep staring at it, and I see it start to just turn red. And I look over at John and Oliver. Guys, stop drinking that.
Stop what?
What are you talking about?
And I look back at the water in my hands.
It feels warm and thick, as if it's just pulsating out of a beating heart.
Guys, stop it. Stop. Water. That's not water.
Oh, okay, easy.
That's not water, guys. And I just pull my hands up out, and I try to wipe them off on my jacket.
You wipe your hands on your jacket, and your hands just slide down as if you're rubbing blood all over yourself.
And I stumble backwards. Stop drinking it, stop it, it's blood.
You know, Ted, you are the last person I am going to take advice from as far as drinking water goes right now. This water is delicious. Are you okay?
You stumble backwards, and Theodore, you feel this shiver go up your spine, and you are so cold. You can't get warm enough, even though you know that you're under the beating sun.
Oliver, it looks like he's taking a fit or something.
And I just keep wiping my hands off and trying to get them clean of this blood.
You hear your radio turn on, and the static gets so loud and pierces your ears.
Can we also hear the radio?
You guys don't hear anything.
I pull the radio out of my bag, and I just start turning the knobs. That's too loud. It's too loud.
What's too loud?
Do you guys not hear the radio?
No.
Listen! And I run over to Oliver, and I almost throw it into his arms. Hey, listen to it!
I take the radio from him, and I show it to him. Ted, it's not making any noise.
Can't you hear it, Oliver?
I start turning dials on it. Look, buddy, it's not making any noise. It's dead.
I just put my hands over my ears.
You just begin yelling, and your head is pulsating and pounding. You just feel the back of your skull just aching, and you feel so nauseous. You begin to violently throw up.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's all right, but get it out. Get it out.
Theodore, you're laying in the fetal position, cold and shivering, just throwing up all over yourself. The pain in your stomach begins to get worse, and it's excruciating. It is to the point where your body just can't handle it, and you begin shaking and convulsing, and everything just gets dark.
Whoa, John, he's starting to shake.
I know.
What's going on?
Grab him. Stretch him out.
I go over to him and try to stretch his extremities out.
I turn his head to the side.
You do, and he just continues to throw up. He looks pale and horrible.
Oh, he does not look good.
What can we do?
Theodore, give me a constitution roll.
14 hard success.
Theodore, after you throw up and Oliver stretches you out, you feel horrible, but you do begin to feel a little bit better. Your chills kind of go away slightly, and you come to, and you feel like you can manage.
Oh my god. Guys, so cold. And I lay there.
It's okay, bud. We're here.
I take my jacket off and kind of drape it over his upper body. Here you go, man. Just chill out for a little while.
Oh, we gotta keep going, guys. The hill's right there.
All right. I help him up.
You guys press on, and you ascend up this massive hill, and it takes you about an hour, and it's rugged and it's tough, and you crest the top of this hill, and it's wide open, and in front of you, you see this massive monolith protruding from the top of this hill, and it's this black looking smooth onyx, and that's what we're going to call it.
And that concludes our show for this evening. Please, if you like what you heard, leave us a review and give us a like. You can find us on Twitter @TomesCast. Until next time, ta-ta.